so excited. This is full spoilers. Hit me like a truck from the side. Every chapter so far was like a gut punch. No, there has been a few deaths. Okay. All bastards from twin fuckery. Tyrion and Arya are my two favorite characters. Her sister? Mad woman. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Anna and I am so happy that you're here. This is gonna be my first vlog for the Game of Thrones books, or the Song of Ice and Fire as the book series is actually called. I am gonna be reading them in German. I'm still gonna vlog them in English, and this will be a deep dive, full spoilers, a vlog experience of me reading these books. Not live, but like, you know, as I go along. I started with the first book like a month ago, but I only read the first 2 chapters, and then like exam prep hit me like a truck from the side unexpectedly, which is weird because I knew the exam was coming up, but you know, I am not one to actually go fully prepared into exam season. So yeah, I didn't have time to read because I was really catching up on coursework that needed catching up on. But now I finally picked it back up, and I've read like 100 pages today, and I am so excited to get chatty with you. And one of the first things I noticed and I remembered was that I hate Caitlyn's chapters. That woman is so full of negativity, and whenever I see her name pop up as the next chapter, I'm like, oh, alright, time to take a break, because I don't want to read Caitlyn's chapters. But that puts me in the misery of when I pick the book back up, I have to read her chapter again, like the first thing first. So I'm trying to, whenever a Caitlyn chapter comes up, that I read it, so that when I afterwards put the book down, I can, when I pick it back up again, start with a chapter from a POV I actually like. And also, I just read today the scene where Ned Stark's sword Ice was described. And it was described in such perfect detail that I was reminded of how much I really want to have my own sword. Like, is there any fantasy reader out there who wants to own their own swords as much as I do? And like, preferably speaking, I want one that was like perfectly balanced for my hand and my grip and my arm. Like, they always describe this process perfectly in fantasy books, how this one sword was crafted for the soldier or for the fighter or whoever it belongs to. And I really want like a personalized, really cool sword. I mean, it's also the perfect home decor. We just added this like cute shelf above our bed, and you know, it could use a sword. To get back to Game of Thrones, I forgot how young Daenerys is actually in the book. Like, that girl is 13 when her brother decides to sell her off to Khal Drogo. Like, that is incredibly cruel. I know we're in a different time. This is not the 21st century, but still, that girl was 13. And like, he is so cruel. But then again, anyone who knows Game of Thrones, anyone who knows the Song of Ice and Fire knows, like, cruelness is one of the most inner parts of this entire storyline. And yeah, it's in every chapter. I would even love to learn like a dance or like a choreography with my sword, just for like funsies, and then have this as a workout weekly. I have to add for Catelyn that the only thing that actually speaks for her is that she's the only one understanding the first foreshadowing in the first book. Like, right in the beginning, we have the shadow wolf that was killed by a stag with the antlers still in their throat. And like, if that doesn't picture what's gonna happen to Ned Stark, I don't know what will. To further go on about my hate about Catelyn, what is it that she has with Jon? Jon Snow is a bastard. Yes. He is the bastard of her husband. Yes. But he's a child, and he cannot be responsible for how he was produced. Like, if you want to be angry at your damn husband. Even be angry at the other woman. I don't care. Leave the fucking child alone. How can you be so cruel to a child? Like, what is wrong in her head? Oh, I hate that woman. I hate that woman. Also, if we were on the topic of cruelness, how cruel is it How cruel is it to give us the very first chapter of Bran and like let him go on and on and on about how he loves climbing and how he not only loves climbing but how it is a part of him and how he cannot imagine the world without seeing it from above, and that like we get this whole monologue over pages and pages that this is like part of his soul, and then the twin fucking idiot pushes him out of the window and shatters his spine and his legs, and he goes on to being paralyzed. Like, what the hell? Also, I did warn you, this is full spoilers. I finally got to my first few chapters of Arya and Dany, or Daenerys, which those two have been my absolute favorite characters in the entire series. For anyone who doesn't know, I have read the first 3 books already. In German there's 10. And I'm rereading the first 3 to do the entire series. But yeah, I've been with Dany and Arya again, and I am so happy about it. Quick and dirty little update about Game of Thrones, or A Song of Ice and Fire. Sansa is such a stupidly indoctrinated little brat in the beginning. Like, But also, I mean, she's literally the daughter of a rather high lord, and her whole life she has been trained to be basically like a puppy, like be a cute little girl and don't say anything stupid and like do your needlework and look pretty. And she's like so in love with Joffrey. And it's crazy to think that she actually had a chance with Joffrey in the beginning, because in the beginning he kind of likes her back, or like at least he thinks she's pretty enough to be a princess. And then the whole thing with Nymeria happens. Arya's wolf basically attacked Joffrey after Joffrey attacked Arya. So that's an important little detail. And the cruel ass prince obviously tells a lie because he's ashamed that a little girl was able to defend herself, or the fact that he attacked a little girl and the wolf had to protect her. And even though I'm annoyed with Sansa from the beginning, it does give her the perfect start for this great character arc that I already know that she will have. But yeah, it's so sad that she has to see for herself how a freaking idiot Joffrey is and what a cruel piece of shit his mother is, just by losing Lady, which is her wolf. Honestly, I forgot how cruel, I think cruel is the perfect word. I think I've used it in this vlog like so many times already, but I think cruel is the perfect word to just describe A Song of Ice and Fire, because every chapter so far was like a gut punch. Just a gut punch. And no one really has died yet. One person has died so far. No, 2. Sorry, 2 people have died so far, but one was really, really unnecessary. No, there has been a few deaths. Okay. Not one main character has died so far. And still every chapter was just a gut punch. Also, Ned Stark will find his grave because of his whole honor bullshit. But you cannot not like him when he's the one to execute his daughter's wolf just so someone from the north does it who's worthy of her. Like, to talk about that, to talk this way about a shadow wolf that's basically just a pet of your child, you can only love that man. Hello, friends. I read a lot of Game of Thrones. Last night, but I was really tired and didn't want to film anything, but I wanted to share my thoughts before I head to the office. So, I got some more chapters in. I'm like 70-ish% through the first book now, and I took some notes because I didn't want to forget what I thought. And like we got to follow Bran a little bit more, and I just recognized again I hate Bran's storyline. Like him turning into this stupid crow, and like everything around Bran is just so boring and depressing, and I know he's gonna be important when it comes to the White Wanderers later on, but like it's so boring. The only thing, or the only character part that I really like from his storyline is Hodor. But let's see if this even plays out like it does in the series, because I've watched the full TV show, but I know that from a specific point on the TV show chose to go a different route than the books actually do. So we'll see. Then the next thing was, oh my god, they all have to grow up so fast. They're like literal children. Most of the characters are goddamn children. They're 11, 8, 14. Like, what? Those are kids. And like Rob having to be the Lord of Winterfell now, and like him just sitting in his in Bran's bedchamber and crying on the bedside of his little brother. Oh, that breaks my heart. Like with the growing up fast, also John, who joined the Night Watch and is now at the Wall. That boy also has to grow up so fast, and I'm like so sad about it. At least he gets like a lot of new brothers and gets to finally feel home somewhere and gets to call somewhere home. And I also love him and Sam. He finally met Sam. But also, before he met Sam, Tyrion and Jon, they have such a cute dynamic, with Tyrion just trying his best to give advice to Jon and be like, hey, I know you're a bastard and that sucks, but I'm literally a gnome and that sucks even more. But he does it in such a cute way. He just wants to help the kid. And then also Tyrion giving Bran this the ability back to like ride a horse, because he designed him his own saddle. That little zesty gnome is the cutest ever. Like, he's such a good person at heart. And then also we're slowly getting somewhere in the plotline, because Ned has found the like bloodline book from which he will understand that the king's kids are not his kids, but all bastards from twin fuckery. And then Ned goes on and on and on about how he hates all the games and intrigues at court. But I love them. I'm here for them. I'm so here for them. Littlefinger being introduced and Varys being introduced. Those two know game. They know how to play chess. And then last thing, you would think that Joffrey showed his real face when the whole thing with the wolf happened with Nymeria and Lady. But no, Sansa is such an indoctrinated little bitch that she puts the fault with the queen and her sister, and is still as enamored as ever with Joffrey. And Joffrey has been very gallant to her during the tournament. Sansa also showed potential for her becoming the Queen of the North when literally a young knight bled to death right in front of her, and she didn't even care. She didn't even care. She's just here for the party. So yeah, that was my little Game of Thrones update. And I gotta get to work now. We're here with another update. I have made some progress. I am nearly all the way through. And I have to catch up with some updates. I always take my notes because most of the time I'm not in the mood, or I don't have the time to just pick up the camera right then and there and like tell you what's happened. So I take my notes and then I'll tell you what's happened. So first note I have again is Littlefinger, the fuck? I know you couldn't get with her mum, but like, take your disgusting eyes off of that 11-year-old Sansa. Thank you. Yes. Then I was just annoyed of like Ned Stark being so damn naive. And we get the little backstory of Sandor Clegane, the Hound. And like, dude is scary, but his brother is on a whole new level of just crazy. Then I have written in all caps, oh my god, I love Tyrion and Arya. Tyrion and Arya are my two favorite characters in this entire book series. And like, I was so excited to get back into their chapters, and like Tyrion with his whole sarcasm and self-hatred made fun kind of way. I'm so much enjoying this, and like Arya is just the love of my life. And Tyrion he knows how to fight for himself, and Arya is learning how to fight for herself. And like, I know she will learn so much more, and she's just a scrawny little kid right now, but she's already so skillful. What do you mean she caught every cat in the whole castle? Like, what the fuck? And then I'll show you some live footage of me reading how Arya overhears some gossip at court, and then she goes ahead and tells her dad. And Ned Stark is just like, "A child, you don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, bro, listen to your kid. Like, once again, a Stark child hears more than they should, and the father is not listening. Could have saved your ass. Could have saved your leg. Like, if he just listened to his little girl, things might have gone differently. Also, I hate Catelyn Stark. We had this topic already. I really dislike her chapters. That woman, but her sister, mad woman. Like, that woman went crazy. I get it though, like if you had that many miscarriages and you have like a really sickly son, which I'm pretty sure you're partly in fault for, still breastfeeding him at like what, 9 years old, the fuck? And then you had like this really old husband who died at court, or like who was poisoned at court, which you're pretty sure about. I too would be very suspicious of everyone and everything, so can't really be mad about it, but like still she's going cuckoo. She's going cuckoo. I'll see you again with another update. Hello pretty people, we're back in my kitchen because natural lighting is really nice here, and I wanted to give another little Game of Thrones update, and then today I'm gonna finally finish the book. And I know this video is gonna be late because I haven't uploaded in more than 4 weeks and I wanted to be on a 2-week schedule. But hey, I'm trying, okay? Alright, so, because I have already read the first 3 German books, which I know I've said like a million times, there's some things in the books I cannot wait for. I know they're coming, and they're coming soon-ish, because obviously 10 books, I've read 3, you know, you get the gist. And I am so excited. I read a Daenerys chapter last, and Viserys was being a little piece of shit, and I cannot wait for Dany to go and give him his so long wanted golden crown. It's not gonna come the way he expected, but it's gonna come, and it's gonna serve. George R. R. Martin, if you haven't heard, has like recently once again confirmed that the books will have a different ending than the show had. So we're not gonna get Snow stabbing Dany in the end, which I love. So yes, I'm gonna get back to reading, and then hopefully tonight, I guess, I can finally finish this vlog. Which was kind of hard to do because I've been like in a horrible reading slump in the past 2 weeks, and what just got me back in was actually putting on an audiobook at the gym, and I was like, ooh, actually I need to finish Game of Thrones, so yeah. The dishwasher was a little too loud, alright. So, once again, I did film my last clip in slow-mo. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I have done this so many times, and always I forget to do the check if I'm in the right film mode, whatever. I'm stupid. Anyways, so here's my last few tiny little updates about the first Game of Thrones book, which I really only had a few pages left. Yes, so I think I said this already, but I love how Bronn got to enjoy his ride out again with his brothers, even though it was a little stupidly interrupted by fellas from the Night Watch and past the wall, but we handled it. Thanks to the wolves, we handled it. And like Tyrion is just the smartest little fellow, how he got his fair fight in the Ire, and I'm so excited to like see this friendship bloom that he and Bronn will have further on. And like I totally forgot that Ned was still alive at the end of the book. LOL, oh my god. I thought he was like, but that's just the first season of the show, and I think that's gonna happen in the second book actually. But yeah, he's back as the Hand, not really by his own wishes, but by the king who doesn't want to rule, so he needs someone else to do it. But yeah, he doesn't have much more time. I think we all know that. So I'm on to the second book. So hopefully we're gonna chat soon. If you enjoyed this experience of me blabbering on my reading of Game of Thrones, please leave me a like, leave me a comment, and hope to see you soon. And I am so excited. This is full spoilers. Hit me like a truck from the side. Every chapter so far was like a gut punch. No, there has been a few deaths. Okay. All bastards from twin fuckery. Tyrion and Arya are my two favorite characters. Her sister? Mad woman.